Good evening. Welcome to the Copacetic Corner, where God is best for you and your partner. If this is the first time you're joining us, this is a corner in which we talk about everything that has to do with love. So if you're just joining us, we invite you to go ahead and share the program. Invite the entire family out. Let them know that we're right here inside of the Copacetic Corner. Yeah, man. This is our special edition called episode
Season 2, episode 12.
Season 2, episode 12. That's why it's good to have a wife. All right, it's good to have a spouse after all. Good evening, everyone. Come on in and let us know when you are there, and of course, joining in with us. Yeah, man. Welcome to the Copacetic Corner Pillow Talk. Good evening to you. All right, go ahead and share the program. Invite others to come on in and be a part of this wonderful program, this wonderful episode. And we get ready to talk. Yeah, man. We have all the things that we need to talk about, you know. We have some problem we need to come address. And Daniel better get ready to hear my kind of problem. Okay. I want all I know to come on in because we have a problem we need to have resolved this evening. Go ahead and let me know if you're there so we can greet you and heal you up. In the meantime, we want you to go ahead and listen to some wonderful music this evening. Watch, it's a good time to call over the spouse. For those of you who have a spouse, those of you who don't have, it's a good time to start praying. For tonight is just your night. Here is a prayer point for praying this season. We're gonna celebrate all through the night. Light the fire. They say marriage is a beautiful thing. Tell me what you think. And copy the link and share to someone. Let them know that we're live right here inside the Copacetic Corner. We're still declaring God is best for you and your partner. Yeah, man, come on in and let's all arise. We're here to have a wonderful conversation. How much they are fast they go on? Feel the same way too. Yes, I pray that you do love me too. I wonder if you know how special me feel tonight. My wife do about 120 days fasting for me. Listen! Listen, we have pure confidence, pure on our knees. Lord, send him, send him, send him, send him, and send him now. Pray for someone like you. You know, Daniel, I pray, I say, God, make him tall and handsome, make him have bow leg, make him be one preacher, make him be a Robdon. Shout out! I wonder if I have no ladies in the platform who really pray for some special person. I pray for someone like you. Why you know, say God do answer prayers. Only you better go and testify and answer your prayer. Oh! Listen! I want to make a lady pay a laugh, so. Pick up yourself, encourage me. Just go and encourage yourself in prayer. Woo! and share the program. We're getting ready to start right away. Tell us we have a hot piece of question to talk about this evening. Lord. Oh, God. Yo, me feel special tonight. All your life you have pray for someone like I. Good evening to you. Good evening. Good evening. Where are the people who can testify? God answer your prayer now. But you know, seriously, some people go on some all-night prayer meeting, some 24 hours, some 48 hours, some 120 hours. And Marie, you're just in time to tell us how long you've been praying for Mr. Williams. You better come in and testify now. Hey, chum. All my life, all my life. Hey, hold on. You know, say some man couldn't escape. And some serious tears going at them coming in.
So what happened to the men who prayed?
They couldn't hide. Listen! You're tuned into the Couples Corner. You know that, girl? That me have to tell you now. Lady Carlene Douglas, Lady Elaine Lopez, welcome to the corner. We belong together. And you know that I'm right. Why do you play with me now? You know that you have some things that are already settled. It don't talk like some people just have no choice, you know? We just belong together. Girl, I don't care what you're going through, we belong together. Why do you play with my mind? Said we forever. Latoya Tuller in the building. How could you love me and leave me? Listen, some things are not up for debate. The girl just knows says we belong together. No separation. Live on the Robdons this evening. Go ahead and just copy the link and share it. Let the persons know that we need 7 more people to get started. Let's go ahead and get 7 more people in the place. Let us put it up right here. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to the Couples Corner Pillar Talk. We have our guests in the building. Get ready to invite on screen. But I don't know where I feel a little 2 minutes reason before we do that. Because me have a special kind of problem this evening. I'm come to talk about this special kind of problem. So if you don't see the counselor, I don't need to tell the counselor, say, we're ready for reason to come for talk. We have a real serious problem. Me just want to know, only, why marriage? Why make we have to get married? Why people need to get married? For a reason.
Security.
So what, you never feel secure before?
Oh, you're assured.
And why never go get one?
Started to separate. Sure. To break off.
It
solidifies the commitment.
I'm gonna see this. This is about making it hard to break off. And you know, sir, that's why they make all divorce bills so high. And make it so difficult. Hold on. We need to ask the question this evening. We want to know, why is it that we actually need to get married? Why? Because there are some people who are listening to this platform and just laugh after when I say, so why marriage? Why? I want to hear what you all have to say. Why get married? Why? One thing for sure is that when you get married, if one's sick, everybody's sick. So some person's coming and they're sick, and right now me all are sick and I have to go through, you know. That's one of them things we come with marriage.
Who go out of the house daily?
Yeah, me, both.
Both of us.
Yeah, but you were the one. You got sick, or you get sick and carry a sickness coming at the house, come make people sick off.
Take a woman and call her your wife, as to the Rastaman.
Yeah, that me a talk about. Some Rastaman just take one woman and call her your wife. And arguably, some people will say, well, marriage a culture. Why do we even need to get married? Because some may even argue this, and whether they are Christian or not, they still resolve to getting married. Like, so why? Why get married? Why? Why? Rastaman say, take a woman and call your wife. Why get married? Why? Why marriage? You need to let me know. Why are so many people quiet? Lady Andrea Oles, come on in. Lady Andrea Reed, come on in and raise it with me. Lady Latoya said, come on, man. Tell me why marriage? Why do you think that marriage is absolutely the answer? And why marriage important? Why marriage important for you? On security, that's all. Look at her, look at me nervous. as if me have something up my sleeve. Me not have nothing up my sleeve, me just
ever
want
have
to
something
know.
up your sleeve? Let me check it.
Yeah, but why why you never just live so? Why you wanted to get married? What was your personal
Because
testimony?
for me, it solidifies our commitment to each other.
But we could have met that by mentally talking more the thing like, yo, my girl, yeah.
But then there's nothing holding apart from the mental talk. And so when situations arise, the first thing that would probably come to mind is to say, okay, then let us part. But when you're married, because of that decision, the lifelong commitment.
So marriage have time you down.
I'm not tie you down.
Strap me can't even move. Not a move. You don't hear them people. That was your plan all along.
So wait, who put on the ring? Are you planning to?
But them say ring is the smallest handcuff. But it look like I know me put on the handcuff and tie you. Look at strap me down. Let me hear the comments that coming at me and say, come on now. Marriage is ordained by God. But why married? So me just get married because God said we get married. Yeah. So I'm not just gonna just go and live so.
I say you're married.
I say me married. Yeah, like why me have got turn up before passing and sign off a document and call that marriage. That's what me want to know, you know. Because some persons apparently have lived like that. And maybe them have no problem living like that. So me, they are really seriously want to know why we need to do all of them enough something a plan when make girls scream. Ah!
How would it scream?
Oh good. How am I gonna tell my mom?
We never said that.
Who's gonna tell my mom? Why we need to go through all of that? So that's the question we want to be talking about this week. So I want persons to come in. So let me look at some of the points that are coming in so we can address some of those before we get started this evening. Therefore, shall a man leave his mother and father and cleave. Notice it says cleave to one woman. So which part in it actually say? Married. Cleave. You know me, my girl are cleave, yeah? Sticking together. We're sticking right through it. Sticking through the thick.
Been done before we cleave done.
No, but that was by your expectation. Yeah? Why we can't just sit down right over there and cleave? You know, like how PV people just quiet, so you know, like they have something on my sleeve. Sure. Lady Paula talk about you know, counselor. How you feel talk about you know?
I have no comment.
I tell you.
I have no comment.
Why get married? Yeah, because I have had the conversation with several kind of people, and them say, Pastor, everything when you enjoy, I enjoy it. So why do I need to get married? In fact, because of the commitment that you put on it, it makes so hard. You know, it makes things so difficult and you know, the kind of thing. So why wouldn't you just live like that? What is your answer? And that is what we want to be talking about this evening. So later on, I think my guest will tell me her perspective on the subject and on the matter. But we will be talking this evening to our lovely guest, lovely sister, who is coming in to converse and reason with us this evening. Let me hear what Lady Nelly is saying. What's the agreement to show that you are cleaving? It's my word and your word. We come together and we make a commitment. We make a talk together. My girl, me like you. My girl, you look good. My girl, I want to stay with you for the rest of my life. And you do the same. You know, that's a committed statement that we make. Right? Hold on. Somebody said the ring. Oh, so, all right. So part of the marriage thing is about getting the ring. You see what I go on? Part of the word of mercy. Part of the marriage thing is to get the vow. And then a part of them need some witnesses. Interesting. All right. So we will listen to all of these fantastic comments. You know, just let me know why marriage, why we are thinking about marriage, why we need to actually get married, why we need to go stand up before pastor and have this kind of dialogue. That's my question, and that's what I want to talk about this evening. So please let me know what you think. In the meantime, we are getting ready to invite our guests, but before our guests come, we have a new release that we need to drop this evening now. Listen to me. Copacetic gone to the world. Let's get underneath, stay around and listen. Yeah, man, we have a release that we need to drop, so we're going to drop that. So we're both talking about why do people need to actually get married? What's the purpose of marriage? I've heard my wife establish security. I've heard my wife establish commitment. How I look at that question is why not marriage? You know, that's how I see it. You know, why not marriage? You know, so you can go on all around and establish the reasons why you think you should get married. But my reason is why not get married? Because all the reasons people come together in a union is to be with each other, live with each other, you know, be able to enjoy each other's company, build a family together. Then why not marriage? You know, that's perhaps a question that we should be asking this evening. But without any further ado, let me get ready to invite in the building my guest this evening who is coming to share her story this evening along the journey to marriage. And of course, you don't know any other thing that we feel like reason about this evening. All right. So without any further ado, let's get ready to meet our guest this evening.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. So no one else can do. That's why I'm still my life with you.
All right. Yes, man. Good evening to you, Lady Felisa. How are you doing? Think you're muted. All right. All right. We're still not hearing any sound coming through. So we are going to allow you perhaps to jump off and jump back on and join us as we get ready. Yes, man. All right. So that's our guest this evening. This evening we are going to be reasoning and talking to Felicia Ricketts Graham, and she has a powerful story and testimony to actually share with us inside of the Couples Corner this evening. You know, we also want to just apologize for her husband. Perhaps he'll join us along the way, but you don't know, work calls sudden and things. We have some slight changes in the end, but nevertheless, we will get to hear her side of the story. And peradventure, I will tell you Mr. Graham's side of the story. So just giving her a few more minutes to actually get inside and join us inside. So back to our question, why should people actually still get married? We have a couple points that I want to put out there in the meantime. So one, it is a relationship of love. So husbands supposed to love their wives, and the Bible teaches us that there's a special way to love. It is loving as Christ loved the church. So marriage is a reinforcement of this selfless kind of love. So love in marriage can be deeper and more selfless than any other relationship. No shacking up relationship cannot be compared to when someone makes that kind of commitment and decides that, listen, you are going to be the one that I will be with forever. All right? It is this type of love that Jesus expects of us, his people, and virtually all different couple. As we go through the program, I will share some more points why marriage is important. Still waiting for our guests. So let me go ahead and just put out one more out there. So marriage is supposed to be a relationship of intimacy. It involves spiritual, emotional, and physical closeness. So anybody would think marriage are just for the physical niceness. Then if you know say the spiritual and emotional must never go into deficit. Yeah. In the Old Testament, we are taught, therefore, shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Genesis 2:24. So married couples are meant to be unified in every possible way. So no farmer shacking up business. It need to be. Yeah, it need to be united. So marriage is a symbol of the unity that the couple shares. We are one all together. We are one in every kind of way. So without any further ado, let us get ready to meet Miss Mrs. Let me not get it. Oh, I don't want to get it wrong again. Mrs. And by the way, this is is the first time on Copperscan I'm getting to call her Mrs. So this evening we meet Mrs. Felicia Ricketts Graham in the building. Oh.
Hi, you should be able to hear me now. Good evening or good night in your part of the world.
Then I make you sound so nice now. You sound so extremely nice. You sound
How
like
are you?
you sound like a proud, pleased wife.
Definitely. I'm representing my husband, so I have to put out this kind of energy.
What look like you represent the what marriage is supposed to look like. Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Welcome to the Couples Corner. For persons who don't know my real sister, this just ease on yourself. Nobody even question how things go. No, say my real sister. In the first love, Felicia Ricketts Graham. She's joining us right here inside the Couples Corner this evening. Let us quickly offer an apology for her husband. You don't know things happen in the last minute. And he's unable to join us. But we're still going off our Couples Corner and have it in full swing, just as we normally do. So, we know you come here to talk about the married thing, but I was reading a post. Me like follow up and read people business so I can ask them about it. And right now, me get to hear the information.
No
So,
problem.
you placed a post the other day basically outlining, how far you have gotten in life and where you are. And you listed marriage as one of those major accomplishments. Because some people don't see marriage as an accomplishment. But it's a milestone that one has achieved and have accomplished. And so you outline some struggles in your childhood that perhaps where you are now, and we'll allow you to tell us about where you are now. You never anticipate getting there. And so before we start talking about the love part, we want you to take us back to childhood and just talk to us about some of your lower Chilani struggles to get to where you are. Because, I want persons to understand that just because you're poor, just because you are going through a hard time, it does not give you an excuse to simply accept life as it comes, but to still reach out and demand the best out of life. Doctors.
Well, definitely. Thanks for having me, Mr. and Mrs. Robdon. It's been a while, but I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, must apologize again for my husband being absent, duty calls, but he'll join in one of these days and, of course, send his greetings. But in terms of me and my personal journey, For me, I mean, I've done many things, but I feel like, yes, marriage is one of those big things because it takes a lot of work, you know? It's not just something where you sit back and you just get married. So it's one of those things that took a lot of effort, and especially coming from my background, as you would have alluded to earlier, where I would have grown up in Trelawney, Jacksontown, Trelawney. I grew up with my grandmother. My father died pretty early. I think I was 7 years old, and my mother developed a mental illness. So I didn't get to see mother and father having any sort of relationship because between 0 and 7, they were pretty much separated. And then he died. So that took him out of the picture. That took my mother out of the picture. And then it was just my grandmother and I growing up, struggling, no electricity, no running water, sleeping together in the same bed until 16, sometimes no food to eat. And then that played on me where emotionally I was just a wreck where I wanted some sort of affection, some sort of attention. So yes, in early years I did things that I wasn't supposed to do that I'm not necessarily proud of, but it all helped me to become the person that I am today. 14 was placed in a girl's home. So childhood was rough. It was super rough. So for where I am at today, I gotta be grateful. And yes, I'm happy to be here to be speaking about marriage, getting married young. That was also, well, as mentioned, that's one of those achievements that I really admire for myself, and grateful for all the support and for wonderful marriages just like you and your wife. Remember speaking with you very early in the journey and just hearing the love that you have for her and the love that she has for you. And that has also played a part in my own journey.
Wow. So you're listening to Felice Ricketts, and she has Ricketts Graham.
Graham. It's me like yeah.
We'll,
Graham.
we'll forgive her. It's a flu. It's a flu that's happening. But we are speaking to Lady Graham as she share her journey. In summary of coming up and of course going through a significant number of challenges, going through a point where she never had the best examples around. She alluded to not having family who, well, the persons closest to her to kind of demonstrate, because most times people think that people get married because of the culture or what they have seen around them, and so they emulate that kind of thing. So where did you pull from, and who did you draw from to the point that you Felicia decide that me deserve to get married to, me decide I deserve to marry somebody boy fit there.
No, I'm looking. I don't even know if I had positive persons that I looked to in terms of marriage. I would have had relationships very young that were very bad, very toxic, and I knew I wanted better. I knew I wanted to be successful, and a part of my success meant that I'd have a strong husband beside me who would support me, love me for the person that I am, and for me to, of course, love him in return. So I think it was really that need for family, like not having a family of my own and wanting to create one so that my children, because I do want to have children, so that my children can see what it's like to grow up in a loving home where they don't have to be seeking boyfriends in their teenage years just for attention, just for affection, but they'll receive all the love, all the affection in the home. They'll know what it's like to have their parents being loving and also loving them and teaching them what it's like to have that. So that was a motivation for me where I wanted to make a difference in that regard. So I started dating, and yes, at 20, I would have met my now husband, and I'm like, hello, we're not playing. Like, if we're gonna do this thing, like, I intend to get married. So let me know what you're up to, and let's see if this can work. If you know it not gonna work, please don't waste my time. So that was kind of the conversation.
Wow, that's a out that's a upfront kind of question, and something I've said to the persons that, once you get into a relationship must end two ways. It's either it's ending in marriage or it's not ending in marriage. No need to be out there on the limb waiting. You just need to decide where you're going to go. This is all I have to offer. You need to decide if you can work with the thing or you can't work with the thing. Make a decision so we can move on. Very, very important. But what would you say to young persons listening to us now, or people who are just not married yet, who similarly did not have a kind of structural home coming up? They look around and they're not seeing great examples around, and sometimes I think I can imagine that weigh in on you, just adapting any practice that we see around, and sometimes hardship does play a part in that particular reason. What would you say to such a person as they set out to set up their goal in terms of what they are defining for themselves as success and what they actually want?
Okay, so to that, I'll say marriage is still honorable. It is still something that is ordained by God. So if this is something that you desire, because we still have persons who naturally they don't intend to get married. It's not that's not their calling. Like they were called to singleness. So I've met persons like that, they feel like, this is what I've been called to do, a life of service. But if you feel like you're called to actually be in a relationship, the first thing I have to let you know that you deserve healthy relationship. You deserve to be loved whole. But first you have to love yourself. Like going in a relationship, you're not going for somebody to complete you. You have to go into a relationship as a whole person. That's something that I had to learn. So you're going for support, but what are you bringing to the table as a whole person? So marriage is still honorable. Work on yourself, love yourself. Do not ever settle. You deserve a healthy relationship. You deserve love. You deserve somebody who will put you first. God is important, but somebody who will serve you, somebody who will honor you, somebody who will respect you, value you. That's what you deserve. So if you're thinking about relationship, these are some of the values that you need to be looking for, some of the characteristics, and do not ever go into a relationship that you will get anything less than, where you're going to be served with abuse or anything like that. I don't support that. But yes, to that, marriage is still honorable. And if it's something that you're going towards, start looking around. Of course, you have to look around. I don't really subscribe to the notion that you're just gonna lock up in your house if you want to get married. Socialize, work on yourself, and then of course meet persons, and from that you can see where things go from there. And of course, listen to what God has to say.
Wow. Some people need to come out of your house. Some people need to join TikTok.
Same.
Some people need to get active on Instagram. Facebook need to work again,
Yes.
because you need to show up in the places that you expect to achieve. You need to show up in the places that you actually expect expect to meet someone. All right. So let's jump back now to Lady Graham. Lady Graham, where did you meet Sir Graham? And yeah, we want, yeah, talk to us. Where did you meet Sir Graham?
So Sir Graham is actually a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and that's why he's not here today, because he has to work, right? So I was essentially 2017 going to college, and I was traveling from Trelawney to Manchester because I was going to college in Manchester and doing Festival Queen training in Trelawney. So traveling some wee hours of the night, and that Albertown closed down from 6, right? So this is me now, stuck in Albertown between 7 and 8 o'clock. No taxi, nothing at all. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're stranded for the night. I was alone, but there were other persons waiting for a drive. And I'm like, this is it. No, I'm going to sleep a road. The college dorm going to close off on me at the same time. And I don't know what will happen to me. And then this police vehicle drove past. It went down from, what do you say now? From Alberton side, like it's going towards Falmouth side, for those who are familiar with Trelawney. And then it came back and stopped. And there were two police in there, just talking to me and offering to take us from our location to where we were going. And I went in there just being myself and not really talking to anybody, and just was so grateful for the opportunity to move, right? And eventually we just started talking, like conversing. And I mean, if he were here, he'd want me to tell this part. I don't usually tell it, so I just have to tell it since I'm the one doing the story for both. So I was there sitting and he was doing his own thing. We were talking, and then there was a particular song that came on the radio. And he just told everybody to stop talking and he started to dance and sing. And I'm like, this policeman weird. Like, okay, him cool, him have a buzz. I'd be his friend because I wasn't subscribed to the notion that I'm going to be dating any police, just because of the stereotypes that were going on at the moment. So I wasn't really looking for a relationship. I was just there. I'm cool, man. Him have a buzz. But then just talking to him, I'm like, wow, something about him is different. I can't tell you what it is. I can't tell you if I'm looking for anything, but something looks saucy. Like, we can probably exchange numbers, but I am not gonna make the first move. So, anyways, we reach Christiana now, and it's time for me to get on a taxi from Christiana to Manchester. And he didn't ask me for my number, anything. We were just gonna walk off, and I'm like, him not ask and me not offer. So eventually, when I walked off, he called me back and said, take one of us number and tell us when you're reaching safely. And I'm like, that's a good pickup line, but it's kind of caring, cool. But for some reason, I got excited because you're used to guys asking for your number from the first thing, like as they meet you, Mr. and Mrs. Robdon, give me a number, not even your name, just give me a number. So that was kind of thing like, okay, he's not coming on too strong. I like the mystery here. And I took his number and I got so excited. I rushed home, rushed through the college door and called him same time. And we started talking, and that's pretty much how we met.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. Boy, Sergio, I have to come back for going to talk to him about that story. Because I'm sure some nice, lovely part of the message left out of the thing. Because go see all them eyes that us have go from east to west, north and south, All them big smile to the man just say, hey, I'm come back. Listen. Sure. Let me just offer our number. It would be good to hear his side of the story. I've got to bring him in back. The man dancing way into the art.
Yeah.
Dancing. This is why, people must be unique in their own rights.
Yeah,
and be yourself. I think sometimes persons spend a lot of time trying to be other persons, and trying to be all that you're not. Here's this policeman who are dancing way. I not even know if he was a great dancer.
Horrible.
Strategic.
You see all them something there? And we don't know if he's a great DJ either. But for somehow, him feel like this is himself. He decided to be himself. And then him catch attention. Look at that girl got college and dead over. No, sir.
Yeah,
Sure. Dead over him. Yeah, man. Simple things make lasting impressions. And I want to comment on being yourself. Talk to me. Comment about just being yourself. Just in a relationship. Because a lot of persons think they have to be this. And, you have to adjust all of these things. You have to try and reach up into people's category for a relationship to actually work. And yeah, just talk to us about that. Because you just find one man who never dance school. You not to be that broke it down properly. you just find one man where they sing and probably a crow. But at that, that grab your attention. Talk to us about the importance of being yourself in a relationship.
It's funny enough that you'd mentioned that because it's so important to know who you are, first of all, and just be you at all times. Of course, be you respectfully. Because as the people in the comments are saying, it's literally the simple things. Because I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was just happy to get a ride home, right? And just that I'm like, this is unique, like this is weird, but we like this can go on. So that really buzzed my mind, and it was entertaining, it made me laugh, and that was something that I felt like I wanted more of, not knowing where it's going though, but wanting more of that kind of vibe around me. So you have to know who you are, you have to know what your strengths are, whatever they are. Work on them always. Just be you. Don't pretend to be anybody else, because the right person will love you for who you are. And sometimes he might say it, sometimes like he being in his job and everything, me going to college, of course there was this little thing that he would say, um mm, wonder if it would have really work with me and her, she going to college, me working, she having this kind of picture in her head of what she wants from a man, kind of thing. But that wasn't me. Like, I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for somebody who is real. So sometimes we make preconceived notion to say that, you know what, Tom Brown not gonna want me now because Tom Brown want this person. And then you try to put on these characteristics of the person that you think Tom Brown wants, not realizing that you are who you are, and no matter how you try, you're not gonna be that person. And if this is supposed to work, if God ordains this, He's going to love you for who you are. He's going to love the silly things. Like, we get caught up in some crazy things, and I can't speak to that because that's me. When I was growing up, I struggled with low self-esteem. Was I pretty enough? Did I look good enough? Or that kind of thing. And here I am now in a relationship. And I mean, I know the value that I have, but at no point has he ever looked at me and said, well, me not think this can work, because your nose too big. That's not what we have. So that's the thing, like your insecurities, you can get caught up in them, but you have to know who you are, and you have to be proud of who you are. You don't have flaws. You are perfectly and wonderfully made, right? So original Anika, whoever you are, you're original you, and that's what you bring in a relationship.
Yo, now left the carbon copy side.
Sure.
Just roll out,
Authentically you.
the authentically you. But you commented slightly on it, and a lot of women who are listening now, no one nothing to do with no gunman. No. And they don't want nothing to do with no uniform man. And one they very near to me, probably a touch me. They never no want them kind of persons within their life. What is it that made you thought? Because you must have some point of reason out and say, boy, policeman full of woman. Police are go east, west, north, and south, and him gone with, Mary Jane and Kerry around the corner. This is really where I want to go, and that kind of thing. That must have been a struggle to some extent in the initial, knowing the kind of culture that we're exposed to in Jamaica. Talk to us about that and how you overcame that.
All right.
All right.
So from the
So,
onset, we know in Jamaica, the context, especially in the world, the secular world, man for have enough girl and have them in a bungle too, right? So that's our culture. Like, our boys are brought up to, not all but most, that it's okay to have several women, and our females were brought up to say, all right, by we're reaching a certain age, we're going to get married, we're going to have fairy tale. So already there's a disconnect with what males are brought up or actually encouraged towards that culture, and for females were encouraged towards that culture. So that was a struggle for me. Where I'm like, can't manage the uniform and them. too much things. Me can't manage the excitement. And me a girl, me prima, me proper, and this is my standard. So I would have had to communicate that from the onset to say, guess what? If it's me, it's me. If it's she, it's she. If it's they, it's them. But there's no me, you, and them. You gotta communicate your standards from early. Of course, it is challenging. I can't stay here and tell you that it's easy. It's challenging. It's a constant work in progress, but you have to just communicate your value, and your partner has to respect you. And even for the males have to respect their partners to say, all right, I am going to do this. Would I do it if she were here? That's kind of conversation, because naturally you go out and you see people, especially him and other persons being in the line of duty. You're going to see other females daily, and for the females too, you're going to see other males daily. But you have to make a constant decision that, guess what? I chose you, I value you, I respect you, and I want it to work. And I mean, that's what I think actually can fuel this kind of relationship. But you have to want it to work for it to work.
Yeah.
So you see, what we're hearing here is that constant decision, that constant commitment. You see, you don't just love your spouse today and things fall in line. It's when you meet that other person. It's when that person makes themselves available in other way, and you have to make that conscious decision again. That listen, this is what I'm in. This is what I'm for, and I'm making that decision to love you, making that decision to be faithful, and making that decision to be respectful. So it's what I call water in your garden, and I've shared the experience a couple of times. When Daniel and myself went abroad, came back to our house, and pure bush grew up in it. Bush grew cover almost the house. And when we look at it, we say, we look over one man yard, oh, it look nice, and
Yeah.
fruit trees and everything, and me over there with my bad mind ready myself. Yeah. And my wife would fear other extra myself. I thought about, what a man yard look nice, but I want that the yard there,
We were both having a discussion.
Yeah, then that's why we ready. And we are confessed now, so everybody know. See, I true. We did ready.
But
And as we stayed there, God would have just allowed it that the man just walk up with him was
it's that
and
one
say, what time team I want to mash it.
shrub.
And him a pick out him shrubs and I clean up. And then we say, wow, look what that man, does.
Investment.
His investment to ensure that his home actually look good. The day I feel so bad, I forget to foreign I come from. I'm gonna get some machete and come back and start do the work,
Borrow.
fix up my house. And you know what I mean? I've seen pictures that come on me after I wonder if I see a house that that come. And I'm saying that to say, you know, you have to keep watering your relationship. You have to keep on pouring into what you put into a relationship is what you get out. So if a weed start grow and you walk away left the relationship, that is not going to miraculously fix up, right? You have to make sure that you keep on doing what you want. So if you offer care, then you will see the care coming out and you will see the end presentation of that. Yes, man. So now, what is it now that led you to the point of marriage? Because, yeah, I hear the values that you have communicated, but why no marriage? Yeah, what led you to that particular point?
Okay, so what led me to marrying was the fact that I really wanted a family. And I mean, I'm career driven, I'm success driven. I know I want to be successful. I know I want to achieve great things in business, in education, etc. But at the same time, I don't want to do it alone. I was at the point where I wanted to do this with someone. And here was that someone, who I met at 20 years old, who was always there. Like every job interview I had, he comes, he takes time off from his work and he follows me to the interview no matter how far. I remember one time he traveled from Montego Bay to Portland just for one interview. If I have any meeting in Kingston with government, he travels from Kingston to that meeting with me. No matter how slight the meeting is, he's always there, always supporting, always loving, always giving of himself. So I was at the point where, you know what? This is the person, like, I can see life with us. I can see myself living life like this forever. So it was like that, and we would have prayed about it, and we felt the conviction that, guess what, this is it, this can work. So we spoke about it, and he would have expressed his desires that yes, he wants to get married, but he needs some time. And girl over here, yes, I want to get married too, but I am not the most patient person. So you got to speed up that decision because I am very impatient, right? So that was a conflict for us where I had a timeline of 2 years and he had a timeline of whenever things are in the right place. So that was a slight conflict that we had. But of course, we prayed, we spoke about it, and we worked through challenges that we had. And we were at the place where we decided that, you know what, this is it. This is what we want for our life. We want similar things. We want to be successful. We want to be successful not just in our own personal lives, but as a family unit in health, wealth, and happiness. And we decided that, you know what, we'll make this contractual agreement. So earlier when I came in, you were like, why get married? Why not just shack up and call it a thing? But that security that you have being married, it's just like I have a business background. But when I have some big partners, I don't just go into that partnership with a verbal agreement to say, all right, you do this, I do that. We have to have something in writing so that we can be clear on where we're going. And that is what marriage does. It's that vow, that spoken and written vow that I am going to make you my life partner in front of God, and this is what we're gonna do. So that's how we decided that, you know what, this is going to lead to marriage.
Well, me can call the altar call. I can call the altar call. I'm already so moved. Guys, we can just end the program because me fully converted. Me change my mind on the need to get married. No, on the need to get married. You mentioned that struggle about, you having a time in mind. And you can men are like that, We don't see time. We
Yes.
see things in order. Talk to us about how did you navigate that thing? Because we know so that can cause some little friction, sometimes a little argument. You want to warm to you. You're the pan. And my girl, man, I say, but me don't want your pressure, me, Me need some time. I need to have things. And I just want to have my girl. I do this. Me want can't do this to my girl. Me want this thing and the other. How did you navigate that? And as you speak about that, I know that there might be persons here that is their challenge about getting married as well.
Yes. I mean, I think society places a pressure on especially the females that, you need to get married and you need to get married quick because there's a timeline on how you can have children, etc. So to that, I say you have to be realistic and you really have to understand your partner. So there is no wrong or right to say after 1 year we must get married, after 2 years we must, 3 years we must. I at this moment I really think it's between you and your partner and God, right? It's not a decision based on what's going on around because all of your friends getting married, you must get married too. You have to work things out. So that's something that I had to learn. I was that nagging person, man. I would send it, everybody missing married, me take it and me send him on WhatsApp. Me say, babe, look at this. And he got so annoyed. He was like, don't send me one more wedding picture because yeah, push this thing now. Because every day you want to get married, I want to get married, I want to get married. But I had to be realistic and understand that as a man, he's wired to be a provider and he needs to be in a place where he can provide, where he can actually even allow us to have a successful wedding, a marriage, a wedding, and after the wedding, what? how are things going to come together? So that was a big thing for him. And until I started, listening more of his intentions, to say that yes, he does want to get married, but he needs to work through some things. So as a person who is dating him, I have to understand that it's not just about my desires to get married within 2 years because of some timeline I made up as a teenager, but I am getting married to a real person who needs to feel confident in his abilities to provide and in being a good husband for me as well. So that's something I had to realize. And I took a step back and decided that guess what? We're going to work together on the relationship, work together to plan things in order to get married. And I think the timing was just perfect. It was 4 years before we got married, but the timing was perfect, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. So, to those persons out there, do not try to pressure your partner, but listen to them and understand what they're saying about this.
We're going to baptize some more people again. Somebody in the comment section this evening just has a leg on my shirt because maybe I'm that person who is watching the clock. Perhaps it's called a biological clock. I think that's what
Yeah.
they say. Yeah. We get old. Um, you know, I'm looking at those other successful persons. I have everything except that. I need to have this in place. Plus, I'm speaking to the men as well. In that, just don't sit there having people stretching out. I think one of the things I've consciously come to realize is that none of us will ever have all that we need for getting
That's
married.
true.
That's true. And I think I've come to that resolve. That there are just some things that are just not there, and we need to accomplish it together.
Yeah.
And my resolve was always about I wanted to achieve things together with Daniel rather than achieve things separate, you know? And a part of that too is also saying in myself, because I grew up here, say woman going left you and take all away up. So I say, I know, she take all away me up. She take some of what we have. Because we would have worked together consciously and would have built and have everything that we have together. And I think that's a very, very important point there. But take us to wedding day. The plans of wedding. Who is the more meticulous planner? And just let us know if anything went wrong. And me can already predict that something went wrong and you would turn up later or something. You just do something.
Well, surprisingly, he was the meticulous planner. So I was the one pushing marriage all along, but I was just concerned emotionally about getting married. Where logistics were concerned, I didn't put any logistics in place. I just want to get married. You figure it out. So when we decided that, guess what? Wedding planning, he actually took charge of most of it, which was surprising and something that I am very grateful for. So you would have planned our wedding and, you know, put it together really nicely. And then a month before our wedding, of course, we had a major challenge that we had to really go to God and pray about and seek counseling about, to say, are we really going to do this? And it took us a while, and we said, should we really continue, right? And then we realized that it was really still God's calling, and this is natural. Challenges are going to come, but what do you do when these challenges arise? So we still decided to get married. We didn't put it off or anything like that. And I'm happy that we didn't, because here we are now, almost a year later, and we still do have challenges, but we've had some very beautiful moments that I'm grateful for. So wedding day, everything was done at a resort. So surprisingly, the resort, well, not surprisingly, but naturally the resort keep things flowing. So I couldn't be very late because they're very much on time. And you know that if you are late, you're going to miss this and you're going to miss this, because this is at a hotel, and hotel time is money. It's not a church where you just turn up anytime. You're paying by the hour for every single thing. You're paying for every single grass, every single cloth, everything is money. So I was conscious about that. So I wasn't very late, probably about 30 minutes or so late. and it was really because of my team. But we worked through it. Wedding planner was really cooperative. But wedding day, beautiful, beautiful experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. We still look back on the videos and we're like, wow, wow, this is beautiful. So, so far, it has been a beautiful marriage, not without its challenges, because marriage is like that. You're with somebody else, not perfect, but it's the will to pray about it, listen to each other, and continue moving forward, even on the most difficult day.
How do you plan for holidays? Because many couples don't budget holidays and weekends into planning. We just live. So how do you budget plan? How do you and budget? I'm not even just talking about money. I'm just talking about is it a part of your active planning? Like my plan for use my weekend and my plan to use my holiday.
So if you follow me, you know I'm very festive. I want to go out every weekend. I want to go out every holiday. So I am that type of person who loves to have a good time. He's like that too, but he's very logical with spending. So he wants to know where is this money going to come from and will it affect anything. But I'm the person, let's go and make the money later. So but stay like that, right? So it's all about meeting each other in the middle and planning, like being very intentional about planning for your getaway time. Even if you have children, right? Planning for your getaway time. Right now, my children are my businesses. They take up my time. They're like babies. I don't even know how they're going to coexist with my children when they get here. But you have to be deliberate about spending quality time with each other. So those are moments that we treasure. And I don't plan financially where that is concerned. I spend really hard, but he's the accountant, so he plans out where the money is coming from. And we're all about trying to earn, make additional streams of income. So couples, we encourage you to do that. Like if the money not coming in for you to have good times, find ways that you can make extra money to do that. And it's not even about spending to actually have a good time. You can go to the beach. Most beaches are free. Take a walk together. Do something based on what your budget can afford. But for me, I love the hotel. So I'm like, hotel, hotel, hotel all the way. But be conscious about your spending to have a good time with each other and not let all of your finances be caught up with having a good time, but do set aside some for some goals that you have as a couple.
Beautiful, beautifully said. All right, so we're going to ask your final question. Tonight, in our couples corner segment, listen person who must budget on a time well, and that now leads me to talk about how do you manage, handle, deal with money, because money can be a big problem. My money, your money, our money. Just talk to us about that.
Woo, that's a touchy one. So for us, money is super, super important, right? Money is a big thing. Money is not something that we're afraid to talk about. We always want to know ways to make additional income and how to manage our income as a family. So right now, we do have some sort of where his money, a part of his money is still his money, because I believe that you are an individual too and you have things that you want. A part of my money, please, this is not any financial advice for couples. It's just what we do and it sort of works, right? So he has a part of his money that is his money. I have part of my money, which is my money, and then we have some money together that's our money, right? So that's pretty much what we do. I really believe that as a couple, you have to put something together for your family, for yourself, for your goals. Like this is for this is for us. And then because I'm just the type of person I am, and he's the type of person he is, we want to have some money aside for ourselves. That all right, this is for me. And the thing is, some of our personal money, it sometimes to surprise our partner. but we don't want them to kind of track that, because when I use that money to book a hotel, a surprise hotel trip, I don't want you to be tracking it until you turn up on the day. So that's sort of what we do where money is concerned, but that's not financial advice for couples. You have to know what works for you, but you have to be open about your money. Like, how much money are you earning as a couple? What are your goals? What are your expenses? What do you hope to achieve? Is it that you're not reaching, you're not covering your expenses, or you're just living to pay the bills? Then that is not enough. You have to start seeking ways of either spending less or earning more. And you earn more by doing things together that will earn you additional sources of income.
Beautiful. And on that note, we're going to say we can't finish all of the reasoning and the conversation in one go. So we are going to be happy, of course, to just say we are going to have to catch up, because the next time when Lily Graham come, we want to make sure that Sir Graham is here so that him can rebut a couple of what are being said. But for the meantime, we're gonna give her the win. I don't know what the judge always give the man the win. Let's see what we'll give her the lead, and say thank you so much for coming and sharing us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just spoken to Lady Felisa Graham, Ricketts Graham. She is the managing director, I would think, or principal of the Western STEM Academy, way down there in Manchester, in Montego Bay, Jamaica. And this is a leading international virtual school for students who are 3 to 18 years old. And of course, they have a strong science, technology, engineering, and mathematics based curriculum that ensures excellence in all these areas. So, listen to me. If you're in the Jamaica area, in fact, them virtual and them worldwide, it is a good program for you to check out and, of course, to catch up with them. All right. So, let me just quickly give you the last sentences, Lady Graham, this evening.
So I want to say thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. I love what you're doing, especially with relationships, because as was mentioned, we don't have a lot of positive role models where relationships are concerned. So for you to be doing this program and inspiring others where this topic is concerned, it's a beautiful thing. So congratulations on this. And for persons who are watching, thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing you happy marriages for those who are married, and for those who are planning to get married. I'm wishing you a beautiful marriage when you do get married. Just know that you deserve love, you deserve the best. And if you aspire to get married, then of course, go for it. Like, be social, as was mentioned earlier. But of course, never leave God out. Pray about it. And faith without works is dead. So, of course, you're going to pray and get to know persons so that you can be directed accordingly. That's my few words.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Lady Felisa Ricketts Graham. We wish you well for your next program, and God bless you. We will connect again, definitely. Blessings.
Take care. Thanks for having me. Take care, Mr. and Mrs. Robdon. Have a great evening.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, a powerful sharing there, lots of nuggets. We had a special evening. I think we have ministered to both singles and married people this evening. But anyways, the program is not through. We have about 10 minutes left to go, and we have something to release. You don't know, tell the Couples Corner people, and so we have something to release. Yeah, we're going to release that in the next 2 minutes. I'm not telling you, no one miss this. Yeah. Yeah, man. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, man. But while we get ready to make our release and get your feedback, and you tell us exactly what you think about this new release, we still want to refer back to our question that we have asked earlier, why get married? And some powerful nuggets there came, that whole matter of security, that whole matter of support that came forth. Just to give you a few additional ones, we mentioned the need for intimacy, and we are called to be close in every single way. It is not just sexual expression, but it's about all sorts of expressions. Spiritually, it's just about becoming comfortable with the individual. Marriage is also another reason for getting married. It's about a relationship of selflessness. Now, we would have learned from Jesus himself, our Savior, that greater love of no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Couples can learn a powerful lesson from this teaching. As a spouse, you are expected to essentially lay down your old life. And by old, I am not talking about your whole as a whole. I'm talking about your old life, the previous life, the things that you used to do. You're going to lay down your personal desires for your closest friend, that is your husband and your wife. That's part of the reason why get married. The more you're able to put your spouse first and keep your focus on the success of your relationship, the stronger the marriage will be. Yeah, man. Somebody need to type, yeah, man, in the chat. Yeah. So let's give you another reason why, just in case you have been asked by your spouse or somebody, why get married. Marriage is also a commitment, and the highest level of commitment other than giving your heart to the Lord. Most marriages are founded, and all marriages, I should say, should be founded on love, right? It's choosing to maintain and to grow that love that can be a challenge. See, persons genuinely love each other, and some people really love each other and want a relationship to actually work. Yeah. But just loving Daniel is not enough. It's about making that conscious decision to grow, grow that love, mature that love. So you don't know, she did love me 100% from day one, but by now she's supposed to love me about 9 million %, right? Yeah, and it's still growing. You can't stop. Just have to keep going. So this is where commitment then comes in. God considers marriage to be an agreement between a husband and a wife, as well as a commitment between the couple and himself. So watch this now. This is not just me take a woman and shack up. This is an agreement between me and God that she is my wife. So falling and not treating her well, I am also accountable to God. That's why him could have dictated to me and said, love her as I love the church, right? Because he is the one who has given me the template for marriage. He has set the standard and the expectation, and I am expected to live up to that. So this is why you can't be a man of God but not treat your wife well. You can't be a man of God and claim to be, and claim to not respect your spouse. It's not possible, right? And so people who, basically you're basically disrespecting your wife, and you're dishonoring the commitment that you have actually made to God. So that's something that we have to think about. God expects us to dedicate ourselves to a relationship. So it's not just shacking up for a moment pleasure, but it's about being dedicated regardless of. So you see, this weekend my wife come in sick, and because I'm dedicated to the relationship, still sick. That's the kind of things are going to go on, and things are going to happen. But that's what marriage is about. All right. So of course, the scripture teaches us that we must recognize our responsibilities, our duties. Now, duty is different from responsibility. Yeah, our loyalties as well. All right, to both our spouse and to God. So now one doesn't replace the other. There's something that we think, and Christian people suffer from this syndrome. The syndrome that thinks that my religious or my Christian, expectations supersede that of my spouse. But I just want to let you know that marriage is established by you, and it is not you who define marriage. It is God who sets the expectation of marriage, and he factored the need of the spouse into those expectations. So listen, you're not being ungodly by being loving and caring to and forgiving to your spouse. All right, it should never be a competition between the two. Right, it is factored in God's overall plan. All right? Marriage requires us to be patient. That's another reason why you get married. You learn to be patient. So marriage can require hard work, as the young lady alluded to. It's hard work. It's not magic. It's not miracle. I get weary of people who believe too much in miracle. No, I believe in miracle, right? But understand that along with miracle comes work to get something. What God gave to Adam was not a miracle. He gave Adam work. All right. So there are some things we have to do. We have to get involved. We have to be a part of the thing. So God is not going to miraculously come down, come work out the issues between me and my wife. We need to sit down and keep yourself quiet. You don't move. Steady yourself and sit down and take reason. Take reason, girl. Ciao. Yeah, we could talk about the thing them. You know, argue if we must, bawl if we must, cry if we must, and then come back to the table. Let's come to a resolve. We have to seek a resolution. God is not going to do that for us miraculously. I don't care how much you pray, God still expects you to forgive. It's not going to happen by miracle. And some of you need to stop praying and start apologizing. All right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of you need to start apologizing. It's a part of the work. That's what relationship is about. Relationship teaches you how to be patient. So marriage is making you a better Christian. Because anybody who know my wife, thank God, she has been delivered. Listen to me. If you're going somewhere, you better tell her 4 hours in advance and she's still late. So perhaps tell her 8 hours before and she's still going to be late. But you're learning to tolerate while providing meaningful feedback to the person on how they can develop. I think sometimes we miss the opportunity to grow because there's an opportunity for me to provide meaningful feedback to my wife on what she can be. But while I'm providing feedback, I must be patient to see the change. I must be patient to see the difference that is taking place. And I must be able to cultivate it. So as a spouse, you're like a farmer, right? Listen to me. From me get married till now, my wife tell me don't left my clothes certain place, but she better learn to tolerate me a little bit because me I take time make my steps. Yeah, and it's been 9 years, but I'm growing, and not as bad as I used to be. So you got to take that time to provide, feedback. And so when time you think about becoming annoyed, think about yourself as a farmer, right? The bush start grow up, you don't just go drag up the bush because you're upset. Because in doing so, you will pull up, you destroy the wheat and the tears together, right? So you have to take your little time and go in patiently, talking to some wives now. I wonder if this wife hear it. And pluck out.
I wonder if this husband will listen to himself.
Sure. And pluck out the little bush and the little leaf them until the marriage actually works. So this is very, very important as we contemplate relationship. All right? Listen again. Marriage does require hard work, and it's not going to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. It's not by miracle. It's intended to be hard work. So it's not curse your marriage curse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not demons upon your marriage, and it's not necessarily you're married wrong. You're just unwilling to work. You're unwilling to put in the work. Turn the camera off the person. Right now, Michael Jackson say is the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. So every time you think about argue, I talk to my lovely queen right here when she decides to argue with me. She have to just remember herself, say, yeah, Robdon is work in progress. I am developing and I am growing. Where is Lady Paula? This is not emotional manipulation. It's not emotional manipulation. I also have a responsibility to learn what she says.
Exactly.
And grab the feedback and provide some level of improvement. So it's important. So above all things, yeah, remembering that it's marriage is founded on love. Yeah, but patience is what gives direction. You understand that? So marriage is founded on love, but it's patience that gives direction. Right? You can have the best base, right? When you build a ship. But you need the sail to direct that ship. All right. So yes, you have been fully constructed, but going out and navigating the hurdles will require you to have some level of patience. All right. Patience is going to be your sail. So if your marriage seems stalling, could it be that the patience is out of tack? You need to check your sails, check your patience level. Some ladies are going to live longer after tonight because your blood pressure is going to normalize in Jesus' name. All right, your blood. Oh, You shall live longer. Ha! Glory. Hallelujah. Every now and then you have to pray for this sister in Jesus. Hallelujah.
Oh my goodness.
Let me continue. I want to share quick points, guys. I have a release to make for real.
Yes.
All right, they have a big release. So here's what Peter said: above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves. Consuls, yeah. So for charity shall cover a multitude of sin. Right? That word charity is not just talking about love without patience. It is love founded on patience. All right? It's love founded on patience. Because listen to me, if you have hurry up love, you will run out. You will run out of breath. How much time you steam up and drop and have to just calm on yourself. Simmer down yourself, my girl. Sure. So every now and then you have to calm down the thing, simmer down yourself, and allow yourself, allow yourself to be patient. So love is built on patience. All right? Make sure that is what. Not have no hurry come up overnight, love. It go and run out. All right? You're going to be like the 5 foolish virgins whose oil did run out. Yeah. You must come not just with your lamp lit, but you must walk with some patience. You don't just come with excited love. Come with your lamp lit, yeah, and come with your lamp filled with extra patience to deal with
suffering.
Long suffering. Thank you. Marriage is about long suffering. It's true, yeah, but you enjoy and you learn and develop within the suffering. Can I just put some more points out there on here? We can stop us. Yeah, man. In marriage, you're going to make mistakes. We can accept that. Your spouse will also make mistakes. Don't live naive. I think sometimes the problem is not that we have expectation, it's that we have unrealistic expectation. So because me anointed and gifted, that I better don't sit down and think say me now gonna lose my chip and chip my head 2 times. Every now and then my head might chip. But how do you react and how do you respond in that time? You have a responsibility. Listen to what the Bible says in Galatians. The Bible says, he who is spiritual should restore that one. I am still your brother who need restoration. This is why you can't cuss me out and throw me out. Pack up my things and put it outside. You must choose these opportunities as a time to help to restore Robdon and let the best come out of Robdon. This is why I can always say to persons that who you see out here today is my wife has played an integral role in that overall processing. And at the same chaka Robdon. And that's good because you're supposed to see why you're working. Why are you investing your time? Why are you supporting this person? This somebody must have grown. And you must look and say, Jesus, please look for me investment. Lord have mercy. Let me hurry up and go on. So take on the hard times in your partnership. Don't run from them. Take them on with long suffering. For bearing one another in love. Listen, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Ephesians 4:2-3. So everything I must do, I must act with so much patience and temperance because I am endeavoring to keep the bond between the two of us. No matter what, me can't allow Lady Shalanda to hear me disrespect my wife and say, "Cup on the two of them." Me can't allow Lady Elaine to say, "Look how them go on, pan couple's corner." I have an obligation. Yeah, we have an obligation to not just put on a show or a presentation. I have a responsibility to make sure that this is what I am doing, forbearing each other, tolerating each other, dealing with each other problem and cry. Hold on there. When you say a prayer time, Lady Andrea, Lord have mercy. All right, the final point or two that I'll give. No man, I'll give you somewhere. I don't know if you sit down and take some point. They're going to release something later. So the other thing about marriage is that why you get married is because marriage is intended to be joyful. So it isn't your spouse's job to make you happy at all times. And I'm going to rub you a little bit. Marriage is not about happiness. Don't get married because you want happiness. Because the day in which you get sad, it's time for you to walk away. You get married simply to bring God glory. It is not your spouse's responsibility to bring you happiness. It is both of you working together with the plan of God to get that level of happiness. I feel like I'm preaching tonight. Both of you need to work to cultivate happiness in your marriage. So take time to talk, to laugh, and to have fun. Every now and then you have to walk upside of that and say, my girl, just cool, keep yourself easy, Yeah. Every now and then you have to just shake her and just remind her, say, I was one. You must rejoice with your wife or your spouse of your youth. That is what Proverbs 5:18 says. Live joyfully with your spouse, whom thou lovest all the days of thy life. And that is Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 9. Why get married? So that you can be kind. You have an opportunity to be kind to somebody. Oh Lord. You have somebody, because people can practice kindness for a short space of time. Marriage allows for us to practice kindness with the same somebody. So if you have been practicing kindness from day one, when you reach 50, you're supposed to see your investment. All right? That is what you're supposed to see. So being married means you will see every side of your spouse. Lord have mercy. The good, the bad, the strengths, the flaws, the not so good part. You can't hide it. So you have a responsibility, us, in marriage, to help build your spouse confidence. Give strength to your spouse's weaknesses. No, don't just tell him all that he is not. We have some relationship, everything. You're not this, you're not that, you're this, you're that. And it's as if persons feel as though they are not progressing. The relationship is not moving forward. My encouragement to you is to focus on recognizing the weaknesses, but how do you add value? You have a responsibility to add value to your spouse. I wonder if the counselor in the building, I need to call Lady Paula there. Give compliments instead of criticism. Boy, that hard sometimes, because criticism is just natural. It's just easy if you tell my wife, say, you know, do this, you know, do that, you know, and it come like work to compliment her, right? What do you do in that case? You have to start practice, man. You have to start practice. Every now and then you make that proper effort. Put that intentional move. And wives, you see when the husband make the move, you recognize they are making those progressive move. Ephesians 4:32 said, be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you. The other thing which we all agree on is that marriage is not an idea by man. It is ordained by God. It is God who instituted the husband and wife relationship as an equal partnership between Adam and Eve. So my wife is not my lesser version. And I come to tell you on here, listen to me, this is why I don't have first lady. Oh, somebody listen to me? I don't have a first lady. I have one lady. I have a Robdons lady. Wherever there's a first, there's the idea of a second. And it's as if you're competed to a post. I have one lady. This is my number one lady. My chocolate with this vanilla looking daughter. Yeah. Yeah, of course, then number one in priority. Fully prioritized.
Number one, number two.
All right, see, she correct me and put on something. See, something. Yeah, so this is my only lady. Yeah, so this is my Benz park up in my garage. I am coming home to this Benz every evening. That's what we establish. All right. So marriage is central to God's plan for our happiness during this life and our eternal happiness in the life thereafter. Because if you think a lie, your spouse can either help you to heaven or help you to hell. You must choose. They will give you constructive evaluation, and that's why we must not get vexed by everything, and we must not be so short-tempered, but we must try to see what is the value in this, because they are helping you to get to heaven. All right, so your spouse is that special partner preparing you for heaven. Oh, that's your teammate right there, who is getting you through this life and also getting you through the life to come. So marriage is God's essential plan. Your life here on earth has a purpose. You are here as a part of God's plan. So it's not by no error or mistake. Before any of us were born, we existed as spirits. Yeah? God designed us. God created this earth so that we could have an opportunity to have a physical body, to learn and to grow. When we get married, we are given that sacred opportunity to bring children into the world. So you have joining with God's plan to multiply and to add to. The next point I will put is that marriage can last forever. All right. So your life on earth is not the beginning nor the end of your existence. After you die, your spirit will continue to live in this world and beyond. All right. And by that I mean you're going to live beyond this particular time. So God wants our treasured, loving relationship to also continue for eternity. By that I mean for it forever, for your time here on earth. The other thing I will put out there is that the blessings of marriage. Marriage brings some blessings. There are some things that you could never have attained by yourself. You need help to get it. Think about all the wisdom that you bring to that relationship. Think about all the times that you help to shape those decision making. You know, think about all the times that you have helped to serve the person from making a wrong decision. I think I am one of those persons who have made would have made plenty wrong decisions because I have a wife who not always agree with me. So your partner again is not your agreeable partner. she or he, for the ladies, is meant to objectively look at what you're making. And of course, it means she's fighting against you. I think we have culture that think that once a person don't agree a fight, she a fight against me, much I stop my progress. All right? But we have to understand this. All right? So God loves every one of his children. That is you're supposed to. This is why you have to remember, say, you can't deal with her any way. God loves him children. Right? And if you dislike and ill treat God's children, he might go take it personal. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to stop with the points there, but those are the reasons why we get married. There's blessings attached to marriage. So this evening, we have a special release, as we say.
If you're ready, say ready.
If you're not ready, say ready. I want to know if the people are ready. Look like them, nobody ready for this release. If you're ready, say you're ready. No, sir.
Then go and sleep.
Everybody else. Like after that, the sermon, they put them to bed. So Cornelia is saying ready. Aza say ready. Shalanda say ready. Lady Shalanda, you need to give Robdon a call. Lady Ivan is saying ready. Lady Carleen is saying ready. You know, man, we need about 10 people to say ready.
Me, say ready.
Encourage me, say ready. Lord of mercy. Journey call life, say ready.
You say she ready, you know, exclamation.
Lady Ilian say
yes,
ready. All right. Sir Omar say ready. Yeah, man. Blessings. All right. We are going to
be releasing
this special. Lord, want to tell me what I want to think about it. Listen. On listen, yeah.
Into the couple's corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
What are your thoughts?
On the don't need to tell me what to think. Tell us what you think. Lord, I don't need to tell us what I think. We need some feedback. We got just about 5 minutes to wrap up this program. Lady Cornelia is saying she like it. What? That means they can play again. It can play again. Lord, Lady Andrea say.
Love it. Pull up.
Can play it again. So, listen. Oh.
Into the couple's corner. Plug into the couple's corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
I want the whole song and video here, you know.
I'm hearing who is the singer and who am I? Lord, they want to know the singer. They want to know the singer.
Top secret.
Top secret. Top secret. Top secret. Top secret. Don't worry, we'll release the video shortly.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna release the video shortly. All right. But yeah, that's the new. That's a new edition coming out. Getting ready to roll it fully out. Look at the song.
Really?
Yeah. So get ready to wrap up and to close tonight on Covers Corner. We're going to play it one more time for the lovely people. Don't worry, the video is coming. Just watch out. Soon come. Ooh. Oh. Listen.
Grab your glass, a little wine, red, white rose, sparkling, to cheers with the darling. Yeah. Now get a pillow, light and padded. Plug into the couple's corner. Plug into the couple's corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. It's pillow talk.
All right.
Pull up.
We'll not play it again.
Right, so the singer is a mystery. We so release that information. Get ready. We are working on the video. I wonder what you think the video idea should be about. So you get to be a part of the plan for the video. So you guys can send us your ideas. What do you think the video should entails?
Yeah.
Because we're going to put this video together shortly. Hold on. Flavored by Trinidad. All right. Yeah, man. But that is the new release. So yeah, man, that's what we are doing. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Remember to tell us the idea what you think should be. Should be the video. Give us some ideas of the video. What? Nelly, see I turn big singer. Here you get flavored by Nelly.
Very nice. Up.
Hold on. Faith Connections, play it again. All right. One last time for a special lady. One last time. And then we are going to go and pray. Everybody want to find out that and the singer.
Yeah.
Listen. Grab your glass, a little wine. couples corner. Clock into the couples corner. Everyone, yeah, it's time for pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Big pillow talk, pillow talk. Ooh, it's pillow talk.
All right.
Boy, if we play it 4 times on and now, pick up a O. Well, look like we have to go wait to release the whole video. All right, look out for the video release. All right, so guys, thank you so much for joining us inside the Couples Corner. We hope that we have answered that whole question about why get married. And so, because you don't know, I have been coaching and providing feedback. I'm going to allow this lovely lady to do the praying. So, on it, you are praying,
God,
and you have the closing words. Yeah.
All right, let us pray. God, we thank you for today. We thank you for giving us this platform to come to share that marriage works, that God, you honor marriages, that God, it is a union, God, that you have instituted. And so, God, this night, tonight, whatever time of day it is that we're connecting, we pray, God, that you bless our marriages, bless our unions, even the nuggets that would have gone today from Felicia Graham. I pray, God, that Father will understand, God, the importance of loving ourselves, entering into our marriages whole and being the person, God, that will honor you, God, in our marriages. That Father will give the value to our partners, will respect, will love. God will take time to make decisions to continue going forward, even with the challenges, that God will have that commitment to invest, to water our gardens, to Father, take time to cause that kindness to be established as we continue, God, to trust you. Help us to be patient. Help us, God, to go forth, God, to glorify you, God, in our unions as we trust you and allow you to be the only third strand, God, in our unions. For those not yet married, we pray, God, that they make wise choices into selecting that partner. I pray, God, for those that have been cooped up, that God, they'll have the boldness, God, to become social, that God, they'll meet that person that you have designed for them. God, we know that many have been desiring this Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, but I pray, God, that as people, those looking will understand that, Father, it takes two to make that commitment, to work together, to build on the strength, to try to work together in a loving way to correct those things that have been lingering as weaknesses. Help us, God, as we trust you, God, together and say amen, amen, and amen.
So the patience thing go. You have to all have patience with the prayer, because them pray that Jesus. You have to have patience
in the living room for pillows, flowers, wine.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I will encourage me know what else up here.
Cuddling walls.
Lady Andrea, please call encourage me. What encourage me know what them say? Call her, please. Call her.
Yeah, explain what she visioning.
Oh, it's a vision. Oh. Dress up the living room with fun.
So y'all get what the song says. Say get your pillows for your little comfort in there, but you have your life pillow as well. Yes.
Oh, yeah. They're gonna give her a call, the ladies. Lady Andrea, give her a call, please. Thank you. Lady Andrea say wine, pillows, couples, flowers. With background.
Hey, waterfalls. I will wake up find that, bro.
Find a waterfall.
No, I don't drive.
Yeah, I'm coming to Jamaica and and go to Dunsriver to do this. But thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us inside of the Couples Corner this evening. It's a pleasure reasoning and talking with you. And we will be back here next week to reason and talk some more as we talk about relationship. I want to also just use the time just to tell you that this evening, the Women of Excellence will meet. They might talk about fashion. They might talk about clothes. They might talk about artness. So to go on, go hear what them have to say. Look out for the link. It will be posted on our Reason Robdon page and will be sent to different groups. So just look out for it. Join in and be a part of that. All right. Until then, join Daniel tomorrow and Reverend Valentine Rodney, Zaria, as they continue the whole matter of worship. God bless you and take care of yourself and see you to Zaria. No, Reverend Winston Pickle. God bless you. Take care. Blessings.
You can support the Robdons brand today by visiting our website reasonwithrobdon.com, shop merchandise, and check out the variety of items we have just for you and the family. Positivity, your support for quality.
Happy shopping!
I begin to